there's something systemically wrong with this company. It operates in the shadows.
They're gonna make money out of lives. They're gonna make money out of people. Because how CCA works is that they get money per detainee.
Everybody's making money off these folks who are looking for a better life, whether it's the private prison companies, whether it's an expanded ICE and federal government.
This is not being driven by good public policy, being driven by the need for profits of a private corporation that makes its money from housing people in detention facilities. They will build it and then they will seek to influence public policy to fill it.
With all the human rights violations that CCA has done, that they should not get one dime of our federal tax dollars.
When ICE and CCA came down here, supposedly to meet with the residents, 98% were against this prison. Only one gentleman stood up and said support it. One out of the 200 people.
I began to question our town officials, and I was told that there was a cone of silence in place and that they could not talk about it.
I've called on Debbie Wasserman Schultz's office to put this in the sunshine as well, because it's not happening.
We didn't even meet with her because she doesn't even come here to say, okay, let me meet with my constituents, let me meet with my residents to talk about this.
And Debbie Wasserman Schultz, along with Senator Bill Nelson, had co-signed a letter of endorsement for this facility. And I find that absolutely inconceivable that both of those individuals would facilitate secure communities by building one of the largest deportation centers in the country in our own backyard, only for money.
I mean, it's evident that we're not supporting this prison. The politicians that are supporting this, they keep saying and they keep announcing that the residents supporting this. How can they say that if 98% were against it?
Definitely.
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 No, absolutely.
This is absolutely wrong.
We have a gift for CCA, and that is a traditional bag of coal, which represents bad behavior.
The residents of Southwest Ranches and Pembroke Pines and Weston
would like the Congresswoman to change her heart about her support for the prisons.
We'll never see true immigration reform if we just create these facilities to lock people up.
And the whole human element of it is really gone. It's not under discussion at all.
It's just something that people are not understanding and not taking into consideration when they build a facility like this.
The property that is already zoned for things like a dump or even a maximum security prison, this is the minimum impact that could be built there right now.
We have competing legal opinions about a matter that is very serious, which is I am now in doubt as to the city's responsibilities and obligations to provide water and sewer services outside of our city limits. And whether it involves the CCA parcel or any other parcel, I think that question must be answered. And so the proper way to do that is by seeking a declaratory action, and that's the very motion that I was going to make together.
What we had was a discussion about two legal opinions and what would be the best course of action to protect the residents of Pembroke Pines. Not Southwest Ranches, of Pembroke Pines, because that's all we can control. Over the last, well, since the agenda actually came out, stepped up some efforts to go ahead and make some phone calls. I reached out to Senator Bill Nelson's office, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz's office, Senator Marco Rubio's office. This is a federal issue, and our federal elected officials are asking local government and local residents to bear the burden, and it's not right. You have no idea how passionate I am over this issue, how deeply sensed I am to know what catastrophic effects it will have on this community. But I put my hand up to defend the residents of Pembroke Pines. One of the options we had was to seek a judge's answer, a definitive answer. Approximately 2 weeks ago, I spoke about the displeasure of the propaganda being sent to the residents of Pembroke Pines in robocalls, and now we have three mailers. A resident from my district who happened to be on vacation during that time came home and found an answering machine and 3 pieces of mail in his box. So, Commissioner, what's with this? We had a brief conversation. He said, you know what? You're in a tough position. But whatever decision you make, I'm standing there behind you. Because it's a tough decision. It's a no-win decision because our federal officials are not looking at the local problem. I don't want this here. I stood with many of you in December opposing this from a federal level. I encouraged you to make this a Broward County issue, to make it a presidential issue. That's the reason why you've reached out to the White House, to the Romney camp, to the Gingrich camp, and the Santorum camp. None of them are responding. This commission and administration has received a public records request from Sam Poole, attorney for CCA, and the legal team, asking for every piece of paper, every voicemail, every email. The only thing I don't think they include was paper clips and staples that were used. They are suing. I'd like to go ahead and move forward with our plans on preserving the quality of life in this community, the financial stability in this community, and the overall long-term sustainability of our community. Keeping in mind that I don't want this detention center. Trust me, I don't want it. We have 18,000 processed per year, 18,000, with 89% of them being let out with ankle bracelets. I don't think so. Not in Pembroke Pines. You know what I told Bill Nelson's office today? Step up. Step up. Put it somewhere else. I've also asked for his representative to be here tonight, too, and this afternoon. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, where are you? Answer the phone. I'm telling you, this is one commissioner that is passionate about not putting this facility anywhere near our kids, anywhere near our homes. By voting yes for a DEC action, I am taking Pembroke Pines taxpayer money, giving it to an attorney to fight for our rights. Oh, it's discovery. It's deposition, perhaps. It's sessions, executive sessions with the commission. There are taxpayer dollars tied up into this, and our federal system has let us down. How dare they ask us to spend our money on their issue? Understand where I'm coming from. I cannot tell you how much sleep I've lost. I have been looking at every possible option to protect this community.
Let me say to my colleagues from Southwest Ranches who are here, and I respect you all, if what you're going to do is treat us this way, we don't want to do business with you. We just don't. If you're going to close roads and create angst in our neighborhoods, that's not neighborly or rural, that's mean. And that's not nice. If what you're going to do is throw stuff in contracts and walk in a crab-like sort of way instead of being up front with us, that ain't us.
It's, you know, I'm not one who's tolerant. They're going to have to show good faith, and they're going to have to show open meetings, and they're going to have to give our residents the right to petition their government, because this is the United States of America. I want to make sure that when our residents go to their town and wish to speak, that it's free and open, and it's not under any kind of duress or any kind of security threat or any kind of threat of arrest. When they can start showing our residents that they actually believe in the First Amendment of free speech and petitioning your government, then I think they can come back here and we can start negotiating. But until then, I'm not interested.
Okay. Mayor?